Hello, boys and girls. I hope everyone is doing well. I would like to, and everyone picked up all their materials, hopefully yesterday. All right, today is Tuesday, April 14th, and let's go over the Nevlin Code of Honor. Be respectful. Can you say it with me? Be responsible and be safe. Now, these things go for being at home now that you're having school at home. All right, I would like to start by looking at the matrix and the things that we're doing for reading. We will start the book. You didn't get it yet, but it will be coming, hopefully soon. We've been waiting for it. And I'm just going to go through everything with you. I'll have the book and I'll read the parts to you and the directions for each day. Now, just to let you know, the packet that you received, like this, the pages will not be the same as what's on the matrix, so I'm going to kind of show you, and hopefully you'll be able to figure it out too on your own. This is a book we're going to read, and it's called, by Judy Blume, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. And on the matrix for today, it says, get your book and follow along while we read the back cover. All right, this is the back cover here. Two is a crowd when Peter and his little brother Fudge are in the same room. Grown-ups think Fudge is absolutely adorable, but Peter and his pet turtle, Dribble, know the truth. From throwing temper tantrums to smearing mashed potatoes on the wall, Fudge causes mischief wherever he goes. All right, thinking about what mischief means. Hopefully you will understand that as we read. Now, we're not actually going to start reading the book until you've done one step. And you remember what predictions are? That's where we try to make a guess of what we think is going to happen. Well, we're going to take a guess of what we think is going to happen in the first chapter. Once again, here is your packet. This is going to be a fun book to read together. And then instead of what, I think it says page 8 on it, instead it's actually just on the back cover here. And what we're going to do is, we're going to write our prediction for chapter 1, since we haven't read that chapter yet. And the way we'll write it is in a complete sentence. We'll say, I think, and then you tell me what you think will happen, because, and tell me why you think that will happen. So you're only thinking about what's going to happen in the first chapter. I think blank will happen because, why do you think that will happen? Okay, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write that down. Hopefully you have the packet right in front of you. And we'll be doing this for each chapter, as you can see. This is all the chapter numbers. All right. So I'm just giving you a little time to write that down. And then I actually want to start the book with you and read through that first chapter. But we do have some vocabulary words. I'm looking at them here on the matrix. And for chapters 1 and 2, we have advertise, commercial, complain, insult, reptile, and mumble. Now try to listen for those words as I'm reading along, and then hopefully you can do a little bit of context clues by looking at, that means that you look at the words before and after that vocabulary word. Sometimes it's a sentence before, sometimes it's a sentence within the word, or in a sentence after the word, or all three. So if you could just listen carefully and see if you can figure out what these words mean. All right, hopefully you have your prediction written down. And here are the chapters. Here's the table of contents. And here's the chapter, or beginning of the chapter page, beginning of the book page. And it's chapter 1, it's called The Big Winner. So if you happen to have this book, you can read along with me. I think it's a really good book for us because we're thinking about going into 4th grade next year. I won Dribble at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. All the other guys got to take home goldfish in little plastic bags. I won him because I guessed there were 348 jelly beans in Mrs. Fargo's jar. Really, there were 423, she told us later. Still, my guess was closest. Peter Warren Hatcher is the big winner, Mrs. Fargo announced. At first, I felt bad that I didn't get a goldfish, too. Then Jimmy handed me a glass bowl. Inside, there was some water and 3 rocks. A tiny green turtle was sleeping on the biggest rock. All the other guys looked at their goldfish. I knew what they were, thinking they wish they could have tiny green turtles too. I named my turtle Dribble while I was walking home from Jimmy's party. I live at 25 West 68th Street. It's an old apartment building, but it's got one of the best elevators in New York City. There are mirrors all around. You can see yourself from every angle. There's a soft cushioned bench to sit on if you're too tired to stand. The elevator operator's name is Henry Bevelheimer. He lets us call him Henry because Bevelheimer is very hard to say. You saw me struggle with it. Our apartment's on the 12th floor, but I don't have to tell Henry. He already knows. He knows everybody in the building. He's that smart. He even knows I'm 9 and in 4th grade. I showed him Dribble right away. I won him at a birthday party, I said. Henry smiled. Your mother's going to be surprised. Do you think your mother would be surprised if you brought home a baby turtle? Henry was right. My mother was really surprised. Her mouth opened when I said, just look at what I won at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. I held up my tiny green turtle. I've already named him Dribble. Isn't that a great name for a turtle? My mother made a face. I don't like the way he smells, she said. What do you mean, I asked. I put my nose right down close to him. I didn't smell anything but turtle. So Dribble smells like turtle, I thought. Well, he's supposed to. That's what he is. And I'm not going to take care of him either, my mother added. Of course you're not, I told her. He's my turtle, and I'm the only one who's going to take care of him. You're going to change his water and clean out his bowl and feed him and all of that? She asked. Yes, I said, and even more, I'm going to see to it that he's happy. This time my mother made a funny noise like a groan. I went into my bedroom. Do you think she believes that he's going to take care of the turtle? I put Dribble on top of my dresser. I tried to pet him and tell him he would be happy living with me. But it isn't easy to pet a turtle. They aren't soft and furry, and they don't lick you or anything. Still, I had my very own pet at last. Later, when I sat down at the dinner table, my mother said, "Oh, I smell turtle. Peter, go and scrub your hands." Some people might think that my mother is my biggest problem. She doesn't like turtles, and she's always telling me to scrub my hands. Kind of like what we're doing right now, isn't it? That doesn't mean just run them under the water. Scrub means I'm supposed to use soap and rub my hands together. Then I've got to rinse and dry them. I ought to know by now. I've heard it enough. But my mother isn't my biggest problem. Neither is my father. He spends a lot of time watching commercials on TV. That's because he's in the advertising business. There's that word, advertising. These days, his favorite commercial is the one about Juicy-O. He wrote it himself. And the president of the Juicy-O company liked it so much, he sent my father a whole crate of Juicy-O for our family to drink. It tastes like a combination of oranges, pineapples, grapefruits, pears, and bananas. And if you want to know the truth, I'm getting pretty sick of drinking it. But Juicy-O isn't my biggest problem either. My biggest problem is my brother, Farley Drexel Hatcher. He's 2.5 years old. Everybody calls him Fudge. I feel sorry for him if he's going to grow up with a name like Fudge, but I don't say a word. It's none of my business. Fudge is always in my way. He messes up everything he sees, and when he gets mad, he throws himself flat on the floor and he screams, and he kicks, and he bangs his fists. The only time I really like him is when he's sleeping. He sucks 4 fingers on his left hand and makes a slurping noise. When Fudge saw Dribble, he said, "Oh, see?" And I said, "That's my turtle. Get it? Mine. You don't touch him." And the word mine was in italic print. They really wanted us to point that out. Fudge said, "No touch." Then he laughed like crazy. All right, that's the first chapter. It's a short little chapter, but it's a nice introduction to our book. I'm going to put a little marker in there so I don't lose my place. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take that packet again, and we're going to look at what we are going to predict for the next chapter. So once again, here's your packet. And you go to the inside cover, and you're going to look at where it says Chapter 2. Now I want you to write a prediction for what Chapter 2 will be about, and tomorrow I'm going to read that chapter to you. So you're going to say, I think blank will happen because. So you might want to use a little bit information that you heard from Chapter 1 to help you decide what to write for your prediction for Chapter 2. All right, that's all for today, and I will see you tomorrow.